My analysis for the Cleveland Cavaliers, the new players, people keep asking me, but what do I think about the team? And I told you, I'm like, I think that this is a better, they did better this time around than they did the first time around. The second time around, they got it right. They got players who are role players who could fill their positions. Had anybody listened to me in the beginning when they first got these players and you thought I was just razzing on them and calling them bums and all this stuff and laughing, I knew this was not going to work. I told you from day one, I told you back in August when all these experts, and right now you got Chris Retard right back on his same mission, telling you the Cleveland Cavaliers are coming out the East because that's all he knows. He's just such a ridiculous. I can't even call him a journalist. I really can't. He's ridiculous. This is crazy. Now, all this talk about positioning, all these other teams are still getting players. Joe Johnson got waived, so now he's going to go to the Houston Rockets. So now they got another guy who stands still and shoot threes. Now, people talking about Rodney Hood and do I think they're going out of the East? The only thing that hurts Boston from not going to the East is injuries. If Boston is healthy, they will come out of the East because they can play. They they are a top tier defensive team. Cleveland has to show that they can play defense together as a unit, if or it's not going to work. So you could vest anything you want in the Cleveland Cavaliers and them being offensive and this and that. They still play the same type of game, meaning that you still got the same issues that you had facing you before. The way LeBron James play basketball is never going to change. He's always going to be the same type of player who plays on the ball, cannot play off the ball, and it's retarded. And when you look at the situation like very seriously and say, all right, well, let me examine this. They're still an old team. Even when getting guys like Larry Nance Jr., which very much improves their team, what's that gonna do when Tristan Kardashian is out there? He's still on the team. You got J.R. Spliff out there. He's still on the team. Kyle Korver, when he plays a good team, is not gonna score 30 points. What's gonna happen then? George Hill, these guys, that's what I'm saying. None of these guys, LeBron wants to be rescued. He's searching for another Kyrie Irving. Somebody that he can trust in the fourth quarter. George Hill has never been that guy. He's always been the I'm gonna come up short guy. He's a great regular season player, but when the playoffs come, he's come up short every time. Not some of the time, not half of the time, all the time. He has done so. So if you know that, then you gotta know that there's certain things that you gotta get better at, and the player that people don't understand, and I think it'd be great for their bench is Rodney Hood. Rodney Hood is good for bringing the ball up. He's not a very strong shooter from three, but he gives you that mid-range jump shooting that you need, and I think they need that. Somebody who got he's another Jalen Rose to me type of player. He can run the point, he could bring the ball up, and he plays very confident. I'm not saying he can shut people down, but he plays with a fire about him, and they need that. Larry Nance Jr. can protect the rim. He can go up and get alley oops. They're not going to run a lot of plays for him, but he knows how to play. He knows how to play with Clarkson. Now Clarkson is a whole new guy. He plays entirely different. He plays on the ball, off the ball, but sometimes he's there, sometimes he's like super hot. And then sometimes he falls, the jumper ain't falling but you don't need him to carry the team is what I'm trying to say. In other words, you don't have to lean off him completely for your team. So that's how I feel right now. I mean, we got to see it all play out. But everybody jumping the gun, talking about they the favorites to come out of the East because of the trade. It's like it's foolery again. How did Toronto get worse? Huh? How did they get worse? And better yet, how did Boston get worse? Hmm? They're in third place right now with the players they had. And they weren't better than Boston. They weren't better than Toronto, who was ahead of them. And they might not be better than the fourth place team. So that's the question I ask. That's where I'm at. And here it is, in case you didn't hear it before.
Cavaliers are the clear favorite. It's over. Call it off. Cleveland got younger, more energetic, more athletic. They're going to be better defensively. You cleared up a logjam. You had Isaiah, Dwayne Wade, Derrick Rose, who all essentially play the same way, got egos, and wanted minutes. Now you only have one guy like that, Jordan Clarkson. I'm not saying it's going to work immediately, but it is easier to bring in role players than stars. You don't have one guy that you brought in who's ball dominant, who's used to being the first option, who's used to the offense running through him. I'm not saying they're all of a sudden this great team that can challenge Golden State. I'm just saying in the least, they're the best.
Oh my God. To put them ahead of Boston and Toronto is very disrespectful. It's extremely disrespectful, especially after what Toronto did to them and what Boston did to them. And now all of a sudden, because they got these players, they're defensively better. They haven't even taken the court yet. So how can you even make that type of assessment? And this is the same thing. Now all of a sudden, they're ball hogs. Now all of a sudden, they stars. But they were the greatest thing when sliced bread in August when the trade was made. They were coming out of the East. They're the best team in the East. Now everybody's singing a new song about them. Hell, they only been there 5 months. Why couldn't LeBron make them better? Isn't that what he does? Oh, he came up short. Okay, I get it. Jeez, man. I swear, man. It's like it's turning into a broken record now. You know, that's what this is breaking into. It's turning into a broken record, and I'm just getting sick of it. Sick of this broken record. I'm out.